considered a progressive. He lived and studied in America for more than a decade. He's got a master's degree from Rice University, and he married a former Miss Texas.
He's got some good taste.
Now, this...
May I present His Royal Highness Prince Amin and his wife, Princess Amelia, officers Franconi and Wilcox from the embassy.
Welcome to the kingdom. I'm pleased to be your host.
Thank you, Your Highness. What's this?
It's nice to see some friendly American faces. Where are you all from? Can't find our boots. Gabrielle, Sasha, these are our guests, Mr. Franconi and Mr.
Wilcox, ma'am.
I'm sure your boots are exactly where you left them, by the pool. Oh. I swear they would lose their heads if they weren't attached to their bodies.
My daughters are exactly the same.
Oh, how old are yours?
6 and 8. Why don't you get the girls ready? They'll miss half the lesson again.
If you gentlemen will excuse me, even a princess has to be a mom sometimes.
Pleasure to meet you, Your Highness.
Not exactly the portrait of a royal family, is it?
Those two are such dawdlers. Girls, what's taking so long? Sasha, Gabrielle.
Well, I think the only way to prevent the next... Your Highness, may I speak with your wife?
Princess, about how long were your daughters alone in that room?
Maybe 10 minutes. They're just at that age, you know. And I wanted to give them a little privacy, make them feel like normal little girls. You know, not have men with guns in their faces all day long.
How many times have I said it? 2 half-American princesses. They're the perfect targets for these fanatics. That's why I insist they be guarded at all times. Ma'am, this is not your fault. You're right. You're right, of course. Go home. I will call the moment we know more. When we first came...
Your Highness, I'm sorry to interrupt at a time like this, but I have some news.
Please tell me they're alive, that this is a bad dream.
I wish I could do that, Your Highness, but I just wanted to let you know that we're following some leads.
I want these animals to pay for what they've done. Excuse me, please. Colonel Hlavin is calling.
Relax, Princess. Your daughters are safe. If you have something you want to say, you need to say it now. Either you talk to me or I'm going to have to tell my superiors and your husband that you arranged to have your own daughters kidnapped.
It is every girl's dream to marry a prince, right? And he was charming, generous, and he promised that we would raise the girls in America.
But he changed his mind.
It was 2 years ago. My husband told me that he had planned a trip for the girls to see their grandparents in Riyadh. They were so excited. It was going to be an adventure. We were going to stop in Egypt on the way home, see the pyramids.
Only you never left Riyadh.
So on the second day, my husband announced he was taking a post in the government. And when I said I didn't want to stay, he told me that I had no rights in this country and that I come and go when he says. You know, I can't work, I can't drive, I can't travel. Everywhere I go, I have strange men following me. And suddenly, he won't allow the girls to play with the toys that they want, or wear the clothes that they want, or get a Western education.
Guys, I understand this might not be the life that you want. But having your daughters abducted, faking their death...
I was running out of time.
What do you mean?
He's planning to marry Gabrielle to one of his cousins on her next birthday. I mean, the man is in his 30s, and she is still a little girl. You know, I can tolerate the indignity of sharing my husband. I chose to marry him. My daughter shouldn't have to suffer for my mistake.
No offense, ma'am, but how do I know I'm not just in the middle of some unhappy marriage?
Just check for yourself. My husband is already negotiating Gabrielle's dowry. The princess's story checks out. Thank you for calling and letting me know you were coming.
Why don't you talk to him inside the vehicle where you have more privacy? Go, fellas. Why don't we give the princess a moment to themselves? What do you say?
Oh, hey.
Princess, I'm not sure if you're aware. Embassy cars are considered diplomatic vehicles. They can't be violated by anyone. What I'm trying to tell you, ma'am, is right now, technically, you're on U.S. soil. Just so you know.
I'd like to be taken to the U.S. Embassy, please. I'm formally requesting protection by the U.S. government for myself and my daughters.
You heard the lady.
الصيانة الدبلوماسية. افتح البوابة. اغلق البوابة.
They've really taken to you. You must be a good father.
My wife might take issue with that. I'm away from home a lot. It's tough on the girls not having their father around.
Well, I know I've said it before, but thank you so much for helping us.
Ma'am, are you really sure your girls want to leave?
Do you let your daughters decide what time they go to bed or whether or not they go to school?
No, of course not. But
Children don't always know what's best for them, Mr. Wilcox. It's a parent's job to make those decisions.
your husband, he feels the same way.
What is this?
Your Highness, a lot of people are upset that we brought you here, and it might come down to just us getting you out. We just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
I was willing to risk never seeing my daughters again to get them to America. And do you really think I'd do that if I weren't convinced it was right? I forgot to tell you. Don't be brave.
Your Highness, it's time.